Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Paul Church from Clarity Craft here in the UK.
And my name is Louise from Clarity Crafts in the UK as well.
And welcome to another episode of Clarity Social TV. The lovely Gracie is in the room with you, so if you have any questions, she is there to help. She'll pop the links up to the show page because we've got so much. I mean, we're celebrating 10 years of all things Groovi. And as part of those celebrations, which we kicked off on Sunday, with a brand new sized Groovi plate, the Groovi MIDI plate. So I'll have a little bit of a recap on that if you missed out. Grace said the sound is great. Thank you very much, Gracie. So have a bit of, so that was day one of the celebrations. So it's running for 10 days and there's 10% off all things Groovi, Pergamano and Parchment on both the Clarity Crafts website and also the Pergamano website as well. That's in addition, if you're a club member, you get your club discount on top of that. Also, if some of the Groovi collections were already on special offer, we didn't put the price up and then take 10% off on that. We kept those special offers in place and then gave 10% off on that special offer price as well. So some of the savings are absolutely amazing if you add in your club discount as well. Okay. So we've got lots to share with you. So what we're doing, we did it yesterday at 2 o'clock and we're doing it today at 2 o'clock. We're revisiting some, I wouldn't say old, I mean, they are, but some old favorites because we know that we've got many new friends on the Groovi journey and that may not be aware. We've got such a vast catalogue of fantastic designs.
We have, and now it goes back to 10 years. And you know, even if you were a new friend from a year ago or 2 years ago, you might not have seen some of these things we're going to show you today.
Absolutely. So what we'll do, we'll kick off with having a look at what we launched. Oh, I've got my list here, but I didn't read it because I was too busy waffling. Okay, so another part of the promotion is any new releases during that 10-day period. For a period of 10 days from the release date, you will get double points on those items.
Ooh, brilliant.
And we've thrown in a few little sneaky other items as well. So, for example, the starter kit, that's got double points on it for the whole 10 days. The collection we launched on Sunday, if you buy it within the next 10 days, you'll get double points on that, whether you go for the collection, whether you go for the individual plates. We also did double points on the stamp set that we launched on Sunday, and also the tops and tags as well. So when you're watching back these, you'll see at the top whether there's double points on those particular items as well. So let me bring up some information on the screen for you. So let's have a look. I'm going to go, why has that number disappeared? Let's have a look at, I can't count, number 7. Okay, so you can see here, this is the item number 41139, and we've got Josie's Parchment Trading Cards, the A5 Square Groovi Plate Trio. So the normal price on this is $29.97 because each of those A5 squares are $9.99 each. Okay. But look at that saving, £7.50. Now that's not 10% because 10% of $29.97 would be £3.
Yes.
It's because it was already on special offer.
Oh, okay.
So you've still got that saving, and then you've got the 10% on top.
And then club.
And then your club.
Blimey.
So for example, this collection here brings it down to £22.47. Okay. Yeah. If you're a Diamond Club member, it brings it down to £19.10.
Wow. Okay.
So basically, you're getting 3 for the price of 2 if you're a Diamond Club member.
Yeah.
Okay. So in addition, what we're also doing is we're giving away, we're doing Groovi golden tickets, aren't we?
We are, yes.
1 each day for the next 10 days. We've already had 2 winners. Today's winner was the lovely Sue King, and yesterday was Diane Miller.
Yeah.
And in order to be entered into that prize draw, you just need to spend £50 or more after all your discounts. So when you check out and you pay, as long as it's £50 or more, you will be entered into that prize draw automatically. I will then choose a winner at random, and it will get posted on our social media pages. I actually sneaked into Groovi Tuesday this morning because it was at 10 o'clock. And that Groovi golden ticket, what that allows for the winner is that they can take part in one of the 1, 2, 3 Groovi and Pergamano courses
Brilliant.
that Louise and myself are doing. I say myself, Louise is doing, I'm just there to chat. So we've already done the Groovi Foundation, we've already done the white work course, and then in September and November, we will then have the colouring, 1, 2, 3 colouring course, which Louise is currently working on at the moment, and release on that is imminent. And then we've got the perforating and picot cutting in November. So if you are a winner and you've already done one of the previous two, then you can get a heads up and you can book in for one of those future ones as well. And so that's worth £60.
I know, it's brilliant. So you and Barbara were talking the other day and she said you've got £600.
Yeah, because I had 10 tickets. So
Yeah.
it's that overall, that promotion is worth £600.
£600 worth of giveaways.
Absolutely. So let's have a look at the collection we launched on Sunday. And you can see here exactly what I'm talking about when we were talking about double points. So you can see at the top, double points on this particular item number 42500. And this is, I mean, poor Dave and Jim, they can't make them quick enough. So this is the French lace midi Groovi and platemate collection with A5 parchment. So you've got the promotional 10% discount on there, bringing it down to £56.69. If you're a Diamond Club member, that brings it down to £48.19. Now, many of our club members, in order to gain entry into that prize draw, what would you say, Louise? Let me just bring these details up. In order just to tip that basket over £50, there's a couple of items that are sort of like essential that our friends are putting into their basket just to tip it over.
Yes.
What do you reckon?
A razor pencil?
A razor pencil, not included in the thing, but it would take your basket over.
Okay, so things
what do we use all the time when we're partying to hold everything in place? It gets stuck everywhere and
stick tabs.
Groovi tabs, absolutely. Yes. And the Pergamano rub-ons.
Oh,
as well.
Okay.
I've noticed a number of our friends at home, they're stocking up on the Christmas ones. Christmas, believe it or not, on Hobby Maker on Friday, it's Christmas.
Wow.
Okay. So I've got some fantastic Christmas designs to share with you on Friday on Hobby Maker, and I've actually bought a Christmas shirt.
Have you?
I have. So you'll have to tune in on Friday on Hobby Maker to see my Christmas shirt.
Because I suppose
and
we
the
do
new plates, obviously.
Christmas, don't we? We start early.
Christmas in June. The
Yeah.
Clarity Christmas launch will be a little bit later in the year, and that's already planned already. Jazz is working on some fantastic designs for those as well. Anyway, should we have a look at some of the designs on the new MIDI plates?
Yes.
So all of the plates are available individually, and I know we had a look on Sunday, but maybe you missed the Sunday shows and you haven't had a chance to go back and have a look. So I thought what we would do, I'm going to pass these to Louise, and then she will show us on the overhead some of the lovely artwork. So I'm going to come in, I reckon, on that one there. Might be a little bit too close, but no, that's perfect.
I love these names as well. Who came up with the names?
Very Ula. I think it was between Barb and Jazz. So this is Delphine.
Delphine. So we've got a lovely one here from Hazel Edwards.
Now that doesn't look anything like the traced out plate underneath, does it?
No. So Hazel literally just used the outside border.
Yeah.
Hasn't used the inner part.
No.
All of the inner part. Just literally, and just put one of our lovely rub-ons in the middle.
Nice.
Some nice rainbow parchment. And that's the good thing about the rainbow parchment as well, is that you just need to add a little bit of colour, but the colour's behind it. So
yeah, absolutely.
Jane Telford. It's pretty.
No, I love the black and the orange effect.
Yes, with a little bit of blue in there as well.
Yeah.
Really
lovely. And the white work. So that's from lovely Jane.
And then we have a lovely one from Glynis. Looks nice with the craft card.
Yeah, craft card, and I reckon that's some dorsing in the background there.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Well, this one's hello. Wait. Carol Baker. This one's lovely. I love the
That's
blue.
nice. I love it. It's all on different layers, isn't it? This is from
Yes.
that plate mate to create there, and that's on a card frame. And then the aperture's been cut out, and so this is put behind.
It's behind the
Yeah,
blue aperture.
lovely.
And then we've got Karen Jackson. That one's
Super.
very pretty. Lots of white work in there. Looks lovely. A little bit of lace. And then lastly, we have Carol Pankstello. That's lovely. Lots of glitter.
Glitter.
As
Carol does
usual
love her
from
glitter,
Carol.
doesn't she?
She does.
Okay.
There we go.
So then we'll go
that's that
to the next one. So this is Genevieve. There we go. So we've got a couple of pieces of artwork on that.
This one's very pretty. This is from Jane Telford. Lots
That's
of
nice. And that's using the rose from the plate mate, isn't it?
It is, yes. Is it?
I think, isn't it in the middle of the plate mate?
No, it's
No.
the other one.
It's the other one. Oh, it's from Juliet.
Yes.
Very nice.
So that's very pretty. Lovely little bit of bordered design there. And Carol Baker. That's lovely on that colour part.
That's
It's
lovely,
ivory,
yeah.
isn't it? Or
Sort
the
of, I
rose.
think it's ivory or light
Yeah.
rose. Yeah.
Beautiful. Lovely
Very
bit
nice.
of
Look at
glitter.
that peacock colour. Barbara's showing
know.
this. Look at that. That is amazing.
Wow.
And don't look at these and think, oh, I can't do it.
'Cause you
That's the
really
whole
can.
thing with the groovy journey. You may think you can't do it, but it just takes time.
It
That's
does.
all it is, a little bit of time. So now we're looking at Antoinette. So this is nice. And can you see the common factor between each of the designs? The stripes.
Yes.
Barb loves the stripe in the background.
Gives me like candy vibes.
Candy vibe.
stripes, you
Yeah,
know, the
absolutely.
Candy vibes. That's lovely in pink. Who did that one? Lovely one. Carol Baker.
That's nice. The frame from the plate mate.
Yes, and only on a little bit, which looks
Yeah.
really effective, I think. Karen Jackson.
Love the peachy orange on this one.
Yeah, very
Look at
pretty.
that, all the peacock
Lovely bit
cutting
of
on the
white
inside.
work, and that's just using the flowers, isn't it? In the
Yes.
border, it's not without the little
No.
effect on the outside. I don't know why I'm looking at this. It's mine.
Who did this one?
Who did this one? I can't remember.
Lovely. It looks very sort of
That's 'cause
porcelain,
it's
doesn't it? In
Wrong
blue.
way. That's why. Yes.
Nice.
And then Jill Askham.
Very
Beautiful.
good. I love
Got
the
lovely
frames
stripes in
on there. The stripes again. Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful.
Candy. And then the fourth one in the collection
Juliet.
is Juliet. So very nice. We've got a couple of, and we know with the Groovi system we can choose the different elements on them as well. So it looks, it's really difficult to see that. There we go. That is the rub-on
Yes,
in the
the
middle.
gold. That's Josie Davidson's, and that would look really lovely as a Valentine's card as well. I know it says wedding day,
Yeah.
but lovely as a
Definitely.
Valentine's card. I mean, any occasion really. But
An
the red
occasion to
really gives
celebrate.
me like Valentine's
vibes.
And Jill Askham.
Nice.
Lovely
Very nice.
little bit of.
A little bit of
pearlescent.
stitching in the background.
Oh yes, yeah, using our
Nice.
threads. Yeah,
Yeah.
beautiful.
Super. Right. Okay. So that was just a very short recap. If you missed out on it, or maybe you missed some of the samples, and so that we just thought we'd shine a light on those.
Indeed.
Okay. So let's have a look at our first collection. We were talking about Josie's PTC collection. Now, for those of you that are part of the mini makes and the parchment trading card swaps,
Yes.
and also the artist card trading swaps on our Clarity Crafts mini makes and ATC page, Jane looks after the Groovi side of the swaps, and I can't remember the lady. Elizabeth looks after the stampy side of it.
Yes.
So these were designed a while back by the lovely Josie Davidson. So you've got Josie's parchment trading cards, A5 square Groovi plate trio. Item number 41139. As I said, it already had a saving on it. Then you've got the 10% discount, bringing that down to £22.47. Diamond Club members, £19.10. And there is so many elements on this collection.
There really is.
So we're going to look on the overhead at this so that we can see the plates in a little bit more detail. There we go. So you can see you've got the item number there for it individually. This one is the designed by.
Yeah, and we've got some lovely floral designs that go all the way through, all of them actually. But the good thing is you can use elements. You don't have to use.
Love this flower on this
Yeah,
one.
I do. And then, but you can use it that way. You
Yeah.
know? So you can even.
Don't they look different when you turn them?
Yes, they do, don't they?
Yeah.
That looks really nice as well.
And you've got frames on here as well.
Yeah.
So you've got design by. So if you've got your personalised Groovi plate, then you could put your name on there as well, couldn't you?
Yeah, because they've got some lovely borders as well. But these are perfect as well. These little bits that look like there's nothing in there would be perfect for grid work. Just a little bit of grid work, you know?
Yeah, or that perforating that Barb was doing on Sunday.
Yes, literally just
perforating to that area. And there's lovely little areas to practice your white work on, isn't there?
There is, yeah. Wouldn't that look lovely with just perforating in these bits? Yeah. White work. It'll make it really look like a lace then.
It would.
And then we've got the...
Then we've got the Made with Love by.
I love this.
Item number 41114. So these are normally $9.99, so they'll have 10% off that, bringing it down to $8.99. I think this is my favourite one.
Yes, that's my favourite too, actually. I love the flowers, but you don't have to use these in PTCs either.
No, they're just lovely little toppers, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, this would make a really lovely border. Or look at the little butterflies. You could use them in a card.
The little corners.
And make this bigger to make it into a larger card.
Yeah.
Just like really lovely borders.
And then we've got the third one in the collection, handmade by.
This would look lovely as a background, you know, behind a card as well, wouldn't it? Just to fill up a background.
Yeah, because you could sort of go really random on that, couldn't you?
You could make that into a circle, couldn't you? Using like, keep on using the corners.
Yeah. So let's have a look at some artwork. So this is from Josie Davidson.
Wow. So yeah, that's what we were talking about in the grid.
Yeah, let me zoom in because we've got a lot of small pieces on here.
Yeah,
I have to come in on the super zoom on this.
Ooh,
it will focus.
Yeah.
And then on the back, Josie's used the ATC stamp. So there we go. November 2019, Josie created that.
How long we've had these.
I know. Then we've got Linda Page.
That's beautiful.
She's created that piece.
I love that colour.
Really nice, isn't it? Then we've got Chris Walker.
Perfect.
A little bit of bling on there.
The nice thing is you can cut these bits out, but then we have all of those little PTC size companion papers, don't we?
We do, yes. The swatches.
Handy.
Josie Davidson, Queen of the Grids.
Yeah, grid work. Beautiful.
Another one from Josie on our designer parchment, which will also have the 10% off as well.
Oh, yeah. Ooh.
Nice. Another one from Chris Walker. So you can go bigger if you want to. And these next few pieces we're going to look at are bigger than your standard PTC. So this one is another one from Josie Davidson.
Ooh,
matte and layered.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All pico cut up and layered out. I love this one from Josie. Look at that.
That's lovely.
I mean, unfortunately, we don't do the black parchment anymore.
No,
but you can get that midnight blue.
Which isn't really that different.
Which is just off black, and you can put black card underneath it as well.
And make it look more...
And it looks more black.
Yes. Because I find the black one, it's grey, but the midnight blue, it's got a really lovely dark blue tinge to it, which looks really lovely.
And then this one here, look, this is sort of like a little concertina piece of artwork. I'll open this out. So this was by Linda Page. I'm going to zoom out so we can see this. So look, you imagine that sitting on a shelf, sort of all nice and concertinaed.
Yeah.
To show off the little bits of artwork. You could just cut out apertures and put pictures behind them, couldn't you?
Yeah, that'd be nice.
So you don't necessarily... So that's using that collection. Okay. So let's come back to the screen. And then we'll bring the next collection. Now, these were something a little bit different because ATCs have been around for a long, long time. And it was the way that sort of artists traded their business. It was before sort of like you could have your business cards made and stuff like that. Yeah. And then people would go and swap them. And then I can't remember how long ago it was, but I'd say it was, well, I don't know. I'm not even going to guess because I'll get it wrong. And then it was artists trading coins. Okay. So there were 2 inches, I think it was 2 or 2.5 inches in diameter, but they were circular. So it was a little bit different.
Yeah.
So what we did was I say we, then Josie decided to do some parchment trading coins, which is what we have here. So if I come in on this one now, There we go. So you can see, I'll swap the details for you. Now this is a rather lovely collection because it's something different.
Yes.
Item number 41802, it's Josie's parchment trading coins and frame. Okay, and it's that same fantastic saving, bringing it down to 22.47. Item number 41802, and you've got 8 different circular designs in total. But for me, this was something that I believe Jim designed.
Yeah.
To coincide with the collection. So you've got this fantastic little alphabet, but it's this frame, and that was similar to that pattern that was on one of the trading cards, wasn't it?
It is, yeah. Let's have a look.
You know, you said, oh, that'd make a nice frame. Well, there's the frame all done for you.
This one, isn't it?
Yeah. So Jim's taken element, but he's changed all the foliage, and I love that you've got the heart there, you've got the butterfly. Yes. It really is beautiful. And then, so for example, the flower here is also replicated on there. And I think out of all the designs on this particular collection, sorry, Louise, let me zoom out. I think out of this collection, that's my favourite flower.
Yes, that's really pretty.
You'll always have one that you go to again and again. I love the butterflies.
I do. I like the butterflies as well. I love this one. This is
that's nice. It's on that square, the rectangle one. There's that very similar design, isn't there, in the middle of that?
Yeah.
So let's have a look at some little bits of artwork. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in so you can see here. That's coming on super zoom.
Wow, so pretty.
Look at that. That's a piece from Josie. This one is a no name. I reckon this could be Josie or Glynis. But look, these little butterflies. Look.
Oh,
aren't they gorgeous?
So
just
pretty.
Fantastic little toppers for your mini makes.
Definitely, yeah.
This one's from Glynis. There we go.
I like that.
It's nice, isn't it? And just using the Pico circle to cut out.
Yes. Yeah, just
another one from Josie. There we go. I like the colours on that.
Yeah, so pretty.
So what else have we got? One from Chris Walker, like so. Oh, this artwork. I'm going for it going, I will share it with you, or I will. I'm just want to pull out if there's any more little bits. Okay, so because I'm going to zoom back out now. So this is from Karen Jackson.
Wow.
Okay, so Karen has used that frame around the outside, but look, she's created a little pocket.
So pretty.
Does it say anything? Handmade by Karen. Isn't that beautiful?
I love the grid work on that.
I'm going to put that in
so
afterwards.
Intricate.
It's awkward to do at an angle.
Yeah.
This one from Lovely Jane. See, now this looks like poinsettias because of the colouring. But again, you could just do one. And these are quite easy to Pico cut or cut out with a normal pair of scissors for layering up. This one is from Sheila Gray.
Wow.
That's nice. So the Pico square around the outside, and then just using elements.
Yeah, using our perforating tools, semicircle.
Yeah. This one is from Linda Page. Again,
wow.
I sometimes forget all this amazing artwork we have. Another one from Jane. Jane was obviously in an orange mode at that point. And you're going down an orange mode at the moment, aren't you? In Groovi Tuesday. This one, Glynis.
Wow.
Look. Okay, I've got to come in on this and I need to look at it. So all of these
bling bling
have been Pico cut out. Okay. Lots of glitter. The butterfly. I mean, look at the butterflies.
Yeah, double layered.
Wow, triple layered.
Oh, triple
you've got the base, then you've got the large one. Then you've got this flower here. That flower you liked in that circular one.
It's just literally the flowers without the leaves, isn't it?
And then that one there.
I mean, in person, the amount of glitter on this, it just...
I think Glynis must have used the whole pot. One from Josie, again. See this frame?
Yes, with the rainbow parchment as well, with paper as well behind it.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Chris Walker. So using the same... Look, okay, let's come back and put side by side. So it's the same layout,
Same
don't they look
idea,
different? Yeah.
but slightly different.
So this one is a separate layer on the darker pink. This one's got some lovely glitter on it, and this one has no glitter.
It looks very elegant and just with the white work.
Yeah.
So pretty.
Then we've got another one from Sheila Gray. So this time Sheila's taken that frame and she's put one of the rectangle ones in there.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Another one here from Chris Walker. So she's used our corner punches. They will also have 10% off as well. This one from Linda Page. Look, she's picot cut all the way around that frame. That's stunning. And this one is Maggie Byford.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
Look at that. Wow, all picot cut. So you can see why this is my... And to put a different flower in the middle.
Oh, yes.
One of these little flowers here. Doesn't that change the look of it?
It really does, actually.
Wow.
So pretty.
That is beautiful. So if you're interested in that collection, maybe you've recently joined the PTC swap over on Facebook. If you want some more information, then if you go over to the Clarity Crafts Mini Makes an ATC Facebook page, I'm sure the ladies over there will be more than happy to help. If you want to take part, you don't have to. Look at the back there. You don't have to commit if you want to just do it once and swap, if you want to carry on doing it. But Jane and Elizabeth will explain all the details to you if you've got any questions. And I know Jane's probably in the room as well, so she can answer any questions if you're in the chat. Okay, so now we've looked at some lovely designs from Josie Davidson.
We have.
Now we're going to look at, this was really new to us for Groovi at Clarity. These were designs by Tina Cox.
Yes.
And these are what we call border grids. And it was so, I mean, obviously Barbara and myself, we were new to Groovi, to Parchment Craft, full stop.
Yes.
And then, so we would trace out, we'd do a bit of white work with a pencil, some colouring, picot cutting. And then when Tina came on board, it was all about sort of the lovely grid work.
Yes.
So we've got a couple of collections for you to share with you. Okay, so I'm going to bring up the detail. So the first one, if you're working with grids, there's a straight grid and a diagonal grid, and they will give you some fantastic looks. So what we have here is item number 41856. Now this is Tina's diagonal pattern border grids and II books collections. Now you're going to get 2 II books. You're going to get your basic diagonal border plate, and then you're going to get your patterned number 1 border grid to go with this collection.
Yes.
Now we do have other options available, which you can find on the show page. So that is the grid option, That's the diagonal option. But look at that saving, £14.30, because there was already a saving on it. Wow. So we've put the additional 10% on. And if you are let me have a look at my little collection. If you are, so that brings it down to £38.66. Diamond Club members, £32.86, wow. Saving a whopping £20.10.
And you've got quite a lot in there. You've got the inspiration from the II
Yeah,
books.
we're going to look at the books in a moment. There is so much in there.
Yes. So
that's based on the diagonal pattern. Then we have the straight border pattern. So the same configuration, item number 41855. But maybe you're thinking, oh, I don't really want to go for the introduction and the advanced. I just want to go for the introduction, see how I get on. Yeah. The book is available individually, but what we've done here is, let's have a look. We've got, so this is your introduction guide, II book, with the 2 borders that you would need to work alongside this. Item number 30528, £8.70 saving, bringing it down to £33.27. So as a Diamond Club member, that brings it down to £28.28. So it's the same border patterns that were in the previous collection, but it's just a smaller option with sort of like if you want to give it a go, yes, so to speak. And then we have the diagonal option, and the item number for that is 30458. Okay, let me see, where am I going? 1, 2, 3. Let's start diagonal. I love diagonal.
Right, so that's the straight. So we're going for the basic one first.
We are. So should we have a look at an II book first?
Yes.
So maybe you're new to what's an II book. The whole idea behind an II book was ideas and inspiration. And often when we bought you collections, we took the fantastic artwork from the design team and put it into an II book to give you ideas and inspiration, but also sort of like a little step-by-step on how it was created, and then like a focus spotlight on a particular technique.
Yes.
Okay. And then when you see the artwork that Tina's created from these borders, I said, right, we need to do a book on it. And when you look at this book has how many pages? 74 pages. Okay.
Wow.
Now the book is normally $10.99, but obviously in the promotion you get 10% off of that. So the introduction one is 73 pages. Could you pass me the advanced one, Louise, to see how many pages are in this one? And I reckon there's about 90, it's 94, and it's still the same price.
Yes.
Okay. So let's have a look at the introductory one to start with. And let's go to the overhead, and we will come in on that. I think we might just get away. Yeah,
okay.
There we go.
There we go.
So this is the Parchment Perforating Guide by Tina Cox. All of the artwork in this book is by Tina.
Yes.
Okay. And so it's all about what you can do with it. So let me zoom out on here. Excuse me. So some tools that Tina used in the book.
And it gives you the grid.
Then it gives you the grid itself. Yeah, well, not the grid, but it gives you an image of the grid. Then you've got what you can do, perforating and embossing, perforate combined along a straight line. So you've got real sort of step-by-step instructions from Tina.
Yes.
And then you've got pictorial imagery.
Yeah, so the good thing about this is it shows you perforated and embossed. So with these grids, you can use them both embossed or perforated. You can do both.
Yes.
And it gives you all of the patterns that are on that grid, both in perforating and embossed.
So on that one border plate, there's 7 different patterns.
Yeah, if you're not doing anything else.
7 patterns on there. Okay. So let's go through.
And then it goes into pattern 1.
Yeah.
Perforated and embossed. And then it gives you 3 examples. So it's different things that you can do if you're taking away one of the dots.
Yeah.
Vice versa. And then it goes into the lovely cards that Tina's created, just giving you examples of where
she's used it.
Yes, and how to create it. Got a little to make, but also it gives you inspiration if you have some of these plates at home.
Yeah.
Just some basic inspiration of what you can do with all your Groovi plates as well.
Absolutely. And it's great, as you say, you might like the layout of this. You don't necessarily have to do the grid work, but just to give you some inspiration that you maybe, as you say, maybe you haven't got that particular plate, but you like that outside. Maybe you've got that one.
Yeah, exactly. And then it just goes through card by card, make ingredients.
It really is. It's absolutely stuff.
And it is nice to have a look back and see, because I know all of these Groovi plates. And then it goes into pattern 2. So it highlights up here, highlights the pattern that you want to use, that you're going to be using in the cards that Tina's showing here. So we've got this. This is lovely. This is Jane's Dahlias, isn't it?
Yeah, lovely.
So
and I think at the back of the book, there might be a step-by-step project, I think.
Yes, there is.
There is, isn't there?
It follows the one that's on the front,
on the front page.
Yeah, so the big project. And then it goes into more detail, step by step on how Tina's created it.
Yeah. And you can see you've got the hills and mountains from the starter kit.
Yep, adding the colour on the back.
Isn't that nice?
beautiful. Wow.
There you go, and you've got to say those little focus spotlights on there.
Yeah, making the outside border.
Yeah.
And then just how to finish it off. But the good thing is, Tina hasn't done any picot cutting in this, just used a straight border. But look how beautiful it is.
It's just embossed and perforated, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful, so pretty.
Okay, so that book there is the sort of like the introduction. So I wouldn't say basic. I often say, when you say basic, you can often think, oh, if it's basic, it can't be much.
No.
Sort of thing. But it's sort of, it's a real introduction.
It's an introduction, isn't it? It's introduction on what you can do with the plates, and then
tip of the iceberg.
It is, yeah. And there's so much information in here on how you can create all of the designs. You know, it's so jam packed. For such a little book, it gives you really.
And it's great because with our II books, they're wire bound, so it means you can turn it all over and fold back.
Yeah.
Often you'll get a workbook
and it flips back.
And it flips back, and you've got to put something.
You're like this while you're crafting.
Yeah, you got to put cups on it or something. And then we have a look at the advanced perforating book that then followed, and it really is substantial.
Feels thicker.
Yeah, well, there's more pages in this one, isn't there? So I think this, if I remember rightly, this is where we combine cutting in this one, I think, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah, same grid, but it's more intricate.
Yes.
More intricate. So it gives you the same basic bit at the beginning on what you can create with it, both perforated and embossed. Then it gives you a bit of picot cutting, how to picot cut along a line. So that's a bit of basic information on that. Then it gives you how to picot cut across, which is very helpful.
Very helpful. That's how I learned. Can't speak. How I learned to picot cut.
And then pattern 1. So with this, highlights the one that Tina's using, but then gives you so many examples of how to create different types using a little bit of embossed, a little bit of perforated. So it really breaks it down.
And a little bit of cutting if you choose to.
Exactly. But you know, you don't have to. You could just perforate and emboss.
Yeah.
You know,
don't have to picot cut
at all. Don't have to picot cut, but it gives you that option. You know, it gives you that information, and then we just go through all of the beautiful cards, and then it goes on to pattern 2 and so on. You know.
I know. And then
so all of the
you've got another step by step at the back, haven't you?
We have indeed. With this lovely one.
Oh, Linda's little fluffy birds.
Yeah, they're beautiful, aren't they?
Really nice.
So it goes through all of the. Oh, there you go. All of the stages. On how to create it.
And then what it looks like at the end. So if we have a look at the actual plate itself, I'm going to take it out of the packaging so they go there. Okay, let's pop that to one side, and then we bring that plate in. So you can see, I mean, it's continuous all the way through. So if I zoom in now on that one, let's take that book out of the way. I'm going to come in on the super zoom. Okay, hopefully it will behave. So you can see all of these are precision drilled. And as Louise was saying, you can emboss with them, you can perforate them. And when you combine it with the basic grid, it can extend it further, can't it?
It can, yes. So say, for example, you liked these two together, you can then bring in your, your diagonal one.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to, hopefully it won't glare too much. And then infill what you want in the gaps if you don't, you know, just want to use those, and then create something yourself, knowing that you've done your basic book and you've got your advanced book. Then maybe you want to think, oh, well, I have all of these here. I'm going to create my own grid border design now.
So, for example, maybe you want to emboss this pattern, and then you take your embossed pattern, you lay it over your basic one, and then you can perforate around it, can't you?
Yeah.
And vice versa. You can perforate this and then use that one to emboss around the outside as well.
Exactly.
Okay, so that is basically that is the first collection of on screen. Should we have a look at a little bit of artwork?
Yes.
Just a little bit, because all the artwork has been created by Tina herself. So we look about 3 or 4 pieces. Let's go to the overhead.
So this is the one that's on the front of the book.
So that's, I mean, look at that.
It's beautiful, isn't
It's
it?
beautiful.
All the
And
lovely.
this really is so achievable. If you are brand new to Groovi, you can definitely do that.
You can create
because
this if
there's
you
no
have the plates.
cutting whatsoever.
I mean, the hills and the mountains, if you are a beginner, that comes in the starter
In the
kit.
starter kit, absolutely.
Yeah.
The tree, you could put any image in that
You
middle.
could, yeah. If you want, if you have the nested squares, you can create a rectangle using the nested squares if you wanted to.
Yeah.
And then just put anything you want in there. You know, the butterfly from the.
Yeah, you could take the
starter
lovely
kit.
rose, one of the roses maybe from the new French lace collection in the
Yeah.
middle.
That would look beautiful, wouldn't it?
Would,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then we're going Christmassy.
Nice. So again, it's all about the pattern. I mean, that's sitting on top of
I was
that.
going to say, I was just
It
about
works
to say
really
that.
well, doesn't
I
it?
thought, oh, that looks nice in layers.
Yeah.
Then these ones. This was from the Moon Fairy, wasn't it? That the
Oh,
angel.
Yes.
They look quite cute, don't they? Along
Yeah.
the floors.
And that's another border plate. The
yes,
lovely lace,
the lace
border.
borders. Really pretty.
This is nice. The bamboo.
Yeah. Japanesey feel.
Yeah.
Florals again. Just literally just a little bit around the edge.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
And Christmassy again.
Christmas, Jane Nesterenko winter scenes.
I used to love those. When they first came out, I was always using those. And then the lovely
Jane Nesterenko Dahlia.
Beautiful.
Really nice. And it's just a pattern around the inside.
Yeah.
So that's some from the designs from book 1, sort of like the introduction to using them. And then we'll have a look at a little bit from book 2.
Yeah.
Should we go for just 3 or 4 of those? I know it's hard to just choose 3 or 4.
I know it is.
But
so that's,
okay, so that's the one on the front cover.
There you go. And lovely Christmassy one. I love these. When they came out
The
as well, I
Noel,
used to
yeah,
love
the
doing
word
little
framers.
scenes inside.
Yeah, they're
So
great for
pretty.
that, aren't they?
The
poppies, I love the poppy.
so
And this
beautiful.
is the background from the starter kit.
Yes.
So you can see how you can keep going back
Always,
to the starter
yeah.
kit.
I mean, I used to love working with my hills and mountains.
Look at that. That's Tina's love doodles, I think.
Yes, they're always handy.
On those. And
Very
then
pretty.
this is either the rosy doodle or the floral doodle
Yeah, they're
frame
lovely,
around the outside. But it's all about sort of like the pattern, isn't it, around the edge?
Yes.
Rather than using a multi-needle tool, it's using those grids to create and then picot cut.
Very fine detail, isn't it? I love that, actually.
Okay, so that is the diagonal.
Just
for
the
me,
diagonal.
I love diagonal over straight. But I think you just get that little different bit of a look.
You do,
and I'm sure many of our friends at home that use the straight and the diagonal, they find that maybe the diagonal is a little bit more
forgiving.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
because they're all slightly off jointed anyway, aren't they? So
absolutely.
And you do get some really lovely, like you can create lovely little flower designs, can't you, on the edges
with these? Yeah. So that is the diagonal pattern. So now I'm going to bring up the straight collection, item number 41855. So let's have a look at the introduction book first.
Yes.
So let's call it an introduction book rather than me calling it a basic book. Okay, so let's have a look on the overhead on this.
So this is just the straight, and this is the introduction book.
So it's exactly the same process, isn't it? I mean, obviously the books, the II books have been written in the same way, where Tina virtually holds your hand, guiding you through.
And again, gives you all of the patterns perforated and embossed.
Yeah.
This is really helpful. Helpful and interesting.
Yeah.
Creating embossed and perforated around a circle. And then that really opens it up.
Because you think, oh, it's a straight line.
Yeah.
I can only do straight lines.
Yeah. And then, but then that opens up because it's all on here. You've got all one parts, haven't you?
Yeah.
So all you have to do is just keep on moving it, and because it's kind of like they're in sections.
Yes.
In a way, you can do that.
Absolutely.
I mean, that opens up, and then it goes through. Oh, that's nice. I haven't seen that.
Well, they're on special offer in the promotion, Louise.
And then, so you've got the perforating and the embossed together. So it kind of goes through stages of what you can create. Wow. Lots of examples, and then...
I know.
perforated, that's slightly different to that one.
And all the
perforated at
counting's
top.
been done for you. Tina's obviously created these designs,
Yes.
and then they're precision drilled, so it just means that you haven't got. I mean, you imagine taking that
I know.
and coming up with those patterns
And trying to count that, and
Try
then
to
you
count
make a
it.
mistake.
and go round a corner.
You have to do
Or
it
go around
4 or
the
5
circle.
times before you get it right.
Yeah.
Because somebody's asked you, do you want a cup of tea in the background at home when you're watching telly or something? So but yeah, it just makes life so much easier to then, use that one
Yeah.
instead.
It's all done for you, all the counting.
And then, then you have this to cut out all of your designs. So then it goes into just the cards and then how to make it.
And then there's a step-by-step at the end of this one as well. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, where are we? This page. There we go. Lovely big project.
So that was the trees that were in one of the versions of the original starter kit.
Yes.
So you can still get that. And then you've got the hills and the mountains, you've got the nested square. And I believe this was even before we brought out the Pico dies.
Yes, it was.
So you could do this in all different layers as well, couldn't you?
You could, yeah.
And
then just goes through just step by step.
Yeah.
On how to create it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that is the sort of introductory book, which is available in this bundle, but it is available on its own. It's available as a book with the 2 borders.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all on that show page at all the different savings. But the biggest saving is where we put everything together. It's already got a saving on it. Mm-hmm. And then you've got that additional 10%, which has already been calculated. So you haven't got to put any codes in checkout or anything like that. Everything has already been had a discount of 10% applied.
Yeah.
And that runs up until midnight on Tuesday the 15th, 16th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, Tuesday 15th. The 15th.
Yes.
At midnight, Tuesday the 15th. And then all the prices revert back. The golden tickets are no longer applicable, but on that Tuesday, we are launching a new collection from Linda Williams, and the double points will run from when we launch that for the 10 days.
Right.
Okay, because otherwise, if we're saying we're going to do double points on something and we launch it at midnight on Monday, make it available, and it's only for 24 hours.
Yeah, I get that.
Okay, so should we have a look at the advanced book?
Yes.
Oh, I love this. Okay.
Wow.
Let's come in on this one.
And that's so intricate as well, isn't it?
And that's just as jam-packed as well, isn't it? More pages on this.
So again, using the straight.
So again, this time it combines cutting in the advanced one, doesn't it?
It does. So it gives you the basic bit first, and then again, it gives you the pico cutting a line.
Yeah, and we have to include it in each of the books, because if you're only going for one of them, what's the point of saying, oh, it's in that book, you've got to buy that book to see how to do this?
Yeah, so it has to be in both. If some people only like working with the straight or the diagonal.
Yeah.
So then it goes through, highlights the line, and then gives you examples.
And how to pico cut.
And then again, you have a few cards all the way through with some good. See, the pico cutting across information comes in handy when doing this.
That really cutting a little cross like that is so effective, isn't it? When you're working
really
sort of like with, so I wouldn't say, again, it's that word basic, basic grid, sort of like let's call it an essential grid work.
It really does open up your crafting once you get that pico cutting across. But this is lovely because this is that, but it looks so different when it's like that as well. An angle,
yeah, because it is just literally a right angle, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
But it looks so different when it's that way.
Yeah.
So then it would go on to pattern 2, and again all the projects throughout, and then like we have before, we've got the big project.
That's Tina's lovely mandala. Dreamcatcher.
Yeah, that's so pretty. Love that. Then again, it will go through all the stages, colour, and how to do the embossed and then
How to
perforated
pico,
and how
yeah.
to pico cut it all out. And then it gives you the
And should we have a look at the actual card? Because
yes.
when if you look at, you look on the front, oh, that looks lovely.
I know.
And you look at this, but what you don't realise, this has all been pico cut out, hasn't it?
Exactly.
Let me just move that out of the way.
And
And
here
I'm
is
gonna
the card itself.
super zoom in on this so we can
Ooh.
really have a look. I need my hockey stick.
Yes.
Not to play hockey, but I don't want to touch it with my chunky fingers. So all of this, I mean, when you think this is just a pattern, and then because it's got the pico cutting in between, it gives it a completely different look, doesn't it?
It really
so if
does.
you wanted to just do one of them, I mean, Tina's opted to do several of them to create that lovely effect.
Wow.
Isn't that mad?
So
Not
pretty.
mad, but you know what I mean. It's just
Bonkers.
Bonkersy mad. If you have a look at a few more pieces.
Yes. I love this one. So pretty.
Really lovely.
And that's all pico cut. So as soon as you get how to pico cut across,
yeah,
pico cutting, it makes it a little bit easier to learn how to pico cut then. Lovely Jane's fuchsia.
Nice. I love this frame. But again, it will tell you
Yeah.
what plates have been used in the various different cards in the book as well.
Exactly. And that's just using the this here, but continuously, and then making like almost like a cross stitch.
Oh yes, with so I reckon that's probably been done with the 0.5. I reckon.
Yeah, that's so pretty.
Sort of scribe to create that. Yeah, as you say, that cross stitch.
I love this. I love this fairy.
Oh,
So
Mel's
pretty.
fairies. Yeah,
yes.
I think there's about 6 of them.
Yeah, that's so pretty.
Yeah, just search for, I think it's Mel's fairies, and they're A6 plates. Yeah, really, really lovely from Mel.
But this shows this is actually this, but then you can change up. So say you didn't want to have the little
oh, you mean
dots,
the outside frame? Yes.
You can freehand and start to do your own thing. Once you've got this under wraps and you know how to do it, you can then make your own and create little different little styles. So pretty. There we are.
That's a real optical illusion.
It is, isn't it?
Because it looks as if this has all been pico cut out. But I'm going to zoom in now. I'm going to super zoom. Okay. So what Tina's very cleverly done is she's put these panels in, but she's just put patterns in each of them.
Each panel.
In each of the panels, and coloured those. So it gives the illusion that it's been layered. And look at the little vases. I love the random.
And
Tina loves putting little random little dots.
Water as well.
Yeah.
And this is actually really pretty border because you can see it's this one here.
Yeah.
And Tina's cut it to make it look like a heart.
Let me zoom out a little. Let's take the rest of that out of the way.
Okay.
Whee, there we go.
So yeah, so using this one here, but then has perforated it to make it look like a heart all the way around.
Oh yeah, and that project will be in that advanced one, won't it?
Yes, because most of the time you think, oh, I'm going to cut it like this around the border, but Tina's done it so it's inward, so it looks like a lovely heart.
Right, let me see if I can find that one in the book.
There it is.
There it is.
Yeah, well done. First page.
Okay, so you've got a lovely full colour picture of all of the different artwork, and then see what I said, wire bound. So Tina's told you what she's used, which is the straight border pattern grid number 1 and the basic one, and the basic A5 square. Nested squares. Oh, it's the woven background plate.
Oh yes.
Ah, of course it is. Wow, that looks so different. So those little panels here is taken from the woven background Groovi plate. Yes. Then the floral moon has been used to infill.
Yes, and the nice thing is it came first of all, I'm sure it came in a circle, and then we created it in a
floral
square,
moon,
didn't we?
Yeah. Then you've got the A6 square plate, which is the flowers and the vases.
Yeah.
And then you've got the Groovi plate mate, the alphabet A5 square, and the Art Deco alphabet border, and the A6 inset.
Nice.
Wow.
So pretty.
Isn't that beautiful?
It's
I
really
love
pretty.
these vases though.
I know.
They look
like bubbles are coming up.
They
from
do, yeah. They look
the
so
bottom,
real,
don't
they?
they?
So
Yeah.
say when you look at the book, let me zoom out now. Come out to that one. I mean, they're not of the actual size because Tina has made the cards in different sizes, but you can see the clarity of the photography. The photography,
It really
it's
is.
top quality, so that it's as if you've got the card in front of you, isn't it?
Yes.
It really is, because you can really see. I mean, if you've got a magnifying glass, you can really go in close and inspect it. Or you've got a decent pair of Dame Ednas like Barb, then you'll be able to see it as if you had that actual card in front of you.
Yeah. Beautiful.
And I really do like the idea of the II book. And we've got so many different II books where they just work beautifully and then they fold completely flat.
Yeah, it's so much easier than
So you can look at the
book.
design piece. I think, oh, I like that. That's not what I want to put something else behind that, but I like this style. So you can create your outer one, you can create your inner panel. Maybe you've got some other of our frames to go on the inside.
Yeah.
I love this effect of that sort of faux ribbon.
Yeah, what I really liked about this as well was the fact that it was small, so it fitted on the desk and it didn't take up loads of room that you needed for your craft stuff.
Yeah.
So it was just so handy. You had it here. It was still a very big size. I mean, the cards are still really big, because if it was in a bigger book anyway, the cards would probably be similar size.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just so handy just to fit on the desk next to all your craft stuff, because once you spread out, everything goes everywhere.
It's just, unless you've got the tool holder.
Unless you've got the tool holder. I was thinking about parchment and paper and tools and all sorts.
But another good thing with the book is that not only does it fold like that, it's easy obviously to store because it's not going to take up too much space. But also on the website, we sell the acrylic stands.
Yes.
Let me grab one. So, for example, we've got the acrylic stands like so. And what you can do, you can put that, and then you can stand it up. So you can have it in front of you, and you can be looking at it. Because sometimes, if something's flat, you can sometimes get the glare of the light on it.
Yes.
So if you've got it on, they won't be in the sale.
No.
Because it's a standard sort of clarity product. It's something that we buy in because we use it to display the product behind us when we go on TV to display the artwork. But it's a lovely little addition to have in front of you, and not just for your books, but you could have like all your plates that you're going to use on it. Because you know, like sometimes you can't get the plates off the table.
Good idea for me actually, because I end up with loads of like plates everywhere, and you're thinking, where's that plate gone?
I have seen in the past, back in the day, when we first started with Groovi, and we didn't have many storage solutions at the time because it was one of those things that evolved over the time.
Yes.
This is going to sound really weird. A toast rack.
Yeah, I remember actually.
Just, a toast rack. You have them, so the plates you're working on, you have them in your toast rack. Don't put it with your toast. Toast and Groovi doesn't work, but it was on there, so that'd be like a workstation, and it was a sort of a great way of just using it, just like we've got the tool holder. But it kept it all in place as well.
Yeah, that's a good idea actually.
Because sometimes they're on the table and you can't pick them up.
Or they've gone under paper and you're thinking, where did that Groovi plate go?
Right, we need to have a word with Mr. Dave. Mr. Dave needs to
create some toasters.
Create some toaster racks. I'm sure he could. Dave has got that mind.
Yes.
That he can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dave, I hope you're watching. He's probably not watching. He's downstairs making Groovi play.
Yeah.
He hasn't got time to watch. So we had a question from the lovely Shari. Are there any plans to bring out any more II books in the future? I would say never. I mean, now that we've got Lisa in the building and that fantastic printer, I can't see why there wouldn't in the future be more II books, because we have the technology, as we say. We just need the time.
We do, yeah. The time
we've got
to create.
Lisa on the printer. We've got the binding machines. We've got all of that.
Yeah.
And what it means is that we can control it, and therefore, I would say that it is a possibility that we would definitely bring more out in the future. Because what we often do is we bring books out,
Mm.
like when we're doing the 1, 2, 3 courses. Lisa prints all of those, and we have the little
Yeah.
booklets. But yeah, the II books, we do have the technology, and the ideas and the inspiration, but the only that is time. So watch this, and Sherry's going to be going. That means there's some in the pipeline, because Sherry, right, she's worked me out. It doesn't take much. Often at the retreats and the open days, and she'll say, "Are you going to do this?" And if I say to her, "Watch this space," then she knows it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And if I say there's currently no plans at present, then she knows, oh, it's not going to happen. So all I'm going to say, Sherry, is there's currently no plans at present to do any more IO books, but watch this space. That will really throw it.
Okay.
I'll go back to my sis, and there'll be an email.
So that's a maybe then.
But she admitted that at the open day, she said, if you tell me blah blah blah, she said, I know it's going to happen. I said, about that transparent. No. So I've been asking you all these years about all of it. She said, and often when you say something and then it happens. So that's what I'm going to say. Never say never. There's currently no plans to bring any II books out. However, watch this space. Oh dear.
So that's a.
It's one of those. Yeah. But thank you very much for the question. I can't believe the time's flown away. Flown away already. So we're currently on day 3 of the Groovi celebrations. Let me see. So we're at Tuesday. Tomorrow, there's no social. We're not doing any social TV tomorrow. I'm getting ready for the Hobby Maker show on Friday.
Yes.
But obviously the Groovi Golden Ticket winner will be announced on Facebook at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Then on Thursday, I'm going to do 10 at 10.
Yes.
10 at 10. Now, 10 at 10 on the 10th, which is, so it's the 10th of July,
That
10
works
o'clock
out
in the
well.
morning for 10 minutes. And I'm going to choose 10 of my favourite Groovi Pergamano products. And I'm just going to shine a light on them for 10 minutes. Normally goes
1
to 20
minute
minutes.
per product.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. By the time I've waffled at the beginning, that's the 10 minutes gone. So I hope you can join me on Thursday for that. Then on Friday, I will be on Hobby Maker at 1 p.m. and 5 p.m. with a brand new A4 plate sampler from Tina Cox. Together with the Jane Nesterenko and the Linda Williams A4 samplers. So we've got a really special offer on all 3 of those with some parchment thrown in as well. That will be available on our website for midnight on Thursday. So if you're an early riser, you'll be able to purchase that on Friday. And that will have double points on. And so the bundle will have a £10 saving.
Wow.
And then you'll get 10% off on that discounted price for the collection. The individual plates will just have the 10% off, but they will have double points as well for the following 10 days.
Nice.
So that's Friday. I've done a little pre-record to go out at 10 o'clock on Saturday.
Lovely.
And then we'll be back with you on Monday at 2 o'clock, where we'll be looking at that new plate from Tina Cox in a little bit more detail with the lovely Louise. And then on Tuesday, it's the final day of the 10-day celebration. And we have a lovely collection from Linda Williams.
Perfect. So
thank you as always to the lovely Grace.
thank you, Grace.
Deborah says, I'm just reading the text messages from Grace. Deborah says Louise can do one. Louise could definitely do an IO book. Absolutely. She's got the skill and the knowledge. Yeah. And then Jane says it won't be 10 minutes. It never is. So thank you as always for joining us. Thank you, lovely Grace, all the way over in New York. And don't forget, check out those show pages. Go back and have a look at the catch up and craft area on the website, where you'll be able to find all the previous shows we brought you. If you haven't seen the Sunday show yet, I sort of go back and look, because the new MIDI plates are fantastic.
Mm.
The artwork from the design team, we had a look at some of it, is absolutely stunning. So thanks as always for your company and your custom, and we'll see you again very, very soon. Thank you, Louise.
Thank you, Paul.
Take care.
Take
Bye.
care.
Bye.